Hello everybody, Glowplasma231 here, and welcome back to my Oshi chapter 115 review. This chapter is titled Roles. So, last time in Oshi we began the interpersonal audition between Phil Shirani, Akane Kurokawa, and of course Ruby Hoshino. And with this, there was a sort of weird moment last chapter where Frill sort of did her own audition part of it. And the theme that she came up with was Lairs, being that this is 4D movie, the 15-year lie. So because of this, it's now Ruby's turn, and we ended off the chapter with Ruby being asked, hey, what are lies to you? What are they? And we pretty much pick up right after where last chapter left off in this chapter, with Frill just walking up to Ruby and just be like, can you do it? And Ruby's like, yeah, I can. And we see her dark eyes, the Starringan, as I feel like it's really funny to call, as people Manga Plus call it. So her dark Starringan is here, and she's just like, acting as a liar, huh? Lies. What are they? Is acting included? And she just, for about like 6 or 7 pages here, we just get her dialogue, because it's just like, acting is my forte. Aqua even once told me that I might become an actress in the future, which is of course because of what ended up happening after I, of course, died. And another fun fact to talk about this real fast is the Oshi anime actually just started here. I think it actually broadcasted the same day that this chapter came out. I know this is coming out a few days late, but still I think it broadcasted on the same day. So we see that Aqua's just like, Aqua told her that she may become an actress in the future, and she's just like, after all, I've been acting the whole time. Being given the role of Ruby Hoshino, the daughter of Ai Hoshino, and perfectly playing that role. Overcoming my own mother's death, becoming a bright and innocent idol. I think that's how Mama wanted me to grow up. And she's like, I used to play the role of Serena Tendroni. She's like a brave and cute girl who understood her parents who worked in a hard, faraway place as if they wanted to ignore my existence. If I didn't do that, I was somebody who was weak and couldn't do anything without anybody's help. I wouldn't be able to go on living, and I just knew that. I was hiding the real me. I managed to hide the ugly feelings that were inside me by acting. I wonder if Mama was the same. Was she acting the whole time too? Were there also this much of a strong emotion in Mama, who always seemed bright and innocent? If she was the same as me now, was she a true liar too? As that is sort of the end of Ruby's narration here. And I have to say, there is a lot of really powerful and just really deep stuff that we get here. I mean, the whole thing of Ruby was given the role of Ruby to play, and there was no source material. I am playing Ruby, and that's just how it goes. I was Sarina, and now I'm not. I'm Ruby now, and I can't go back to being Sarina. It's what it is. And the whole thing of Ai's impact. I mean, we all know that from the first volume, Sarina looked up to Ai. It was really just, it was her pastime. It was the one thing that she could do that was fun. I remember one of the best moments from that first volume was just Ai teaching Ruby to dance. And it was just a really cool and good moment that's just really impactful, just getting this far into the series, 100 chapters into it, and just knowing and understanding what all of this is, and the impact that Ai has in this universe, pretty much. It has an impact on everybody that knew her death. So, but that's really the big point there is, was Ai the same as Ruby at this point in time, right? So then we cut to, or we don't cut anywhere, we just continue on as Ruby is now doing her performance. She's like, it's painful, hateful, heartbreaking, ridiculous. Why? So annoying, unforgivable, I'm jealous, disgusting. And we see that this magnificent 2-page spread here on what is it? Let me count the page here real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So pages 8 and 9 is this really cool, this double page spread where you can tell the meaning that is in Ruby's voice by the shaky word bubbles. And Akane and Frill are just here, like, just looking at her like, what? And she continues, it's like, it's awful, painful. I still dream about the day my mother died, even now. Why did Sensei have to die too? Will everyone I love end up dying? When I think about that, I become scared to like somebody. I want to go where everyone is. I want to die too. As we see that she starts to cry, and she gets these flashbacks and just the images of Goro Sensei and I too. And of course we know that pretty much Goro lives on in Aqua, but not really, since it's really weird. It's like Aqua is his own person, but he's still Goro, but Aqua is almost given up on all of that. So pretty much Ruby's just like, I want to die too. And then she closes her eyes and opens it back up. She's like, I'm just kidding. That was a lie. I don't think I'm dying at all, right? She's just like, I think that's everything perfectly sorted. That's all. And Frill's just like, how should I put it? Yes, I see. What do you think, Kodakawa-san? And Akane's like, well, I think it was good. There were a lot of details I could comment on, but I'm sure with a little bit of practice, she'd be truly unstoppable. And Frill's just like, wow, Akane, you've got a very strict way of going around this acting. As Akane stands up, just like, alright, I'll take on the challenge now. As we get a whole page dedicated to Akane just standing there, closing her eyes, moving her hair, and she opens her eyes back up, and she's got the white Sharingan in her eye now, so the pure eye star, right? And she does this really interesting panel where she holds up both of her hands and just like, yay, as she gets ready to it. And Ruby just looks at her, right? And she's just like, what's going on? As Akane starts, and she's just like, hey, Frill-chan, is this how it is? And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, please, you're the biggest liar here. You wanted Ruby to play this role from the beginning, didn't you? You're hiding this to remove me, the second candidate, for the offer, right? And Ruby's just like, what's this supposed to mean? And we see here that Akane's just like, I'm just guessing here, but I think this audition will determine who plays Ai Hoshino. And that's the end of the chapter. So this chapter definitely has a lot to unpack, right? It's really Ruby putting her feelings into words and using this thing as a liar to show those. As we know, these are mostly Ruby's true feelings. I really don't know how it all works out, if, like, she's a character who actually wants to die or was adding that in just for the effect of it, right? But as we know, here in Oshi no Ko, characters can be edgy as hell. I mean, just truly. Half the characters here are just edgy and crazy. And it's just really interesting. And that's how it is. Ruby's whole thing of, I'm just kidding, that was a lie. And she had a very powerful performance to me, I think. It's a lot better than sort of Frill's just whatever the heck she had last time, right? And of course, coming here now, we see that Akane now is ready to act. And yeah, it's a thing of who will play Ai. So this is very interesting. Another sort of bit of Oshi no Ko news I mentioned. Like I said, the anime is now airing. But the other really interesting thing is that Ai Aksa, the guy who writes Oshi no Ko and Kage-sama Loves War, I've not actually read Kage-sama, but I've got a friend who freaking loves it, right? And who writes Oshi no Ko. Of course, somebody else draws Oshi no Ko, but they're actually starting a new series and doing the same exact thing where they are writing it and not drawing it. That's something to know, but that's not really too much about Oshi no Ko itself. So, we'll actually be getting the next chapter of Oshi no Ko in 2 weeks on the 26th of April 2023. So, until then, I hope you enjoyed this. Have some fun waiting on Oshi no Ko, and I'm Glowplasma231, and I'll see you guys next time. This will be Glowplasma231 out.